Hey, so, first order of business, thank you, boss, for the raid. Spared absolutely zero hesitation. Very much appreciated. Good evening, everybody that just came in, as I get an immediate drown. You know, Jet, just because, like, you spam those drown redeems doesn't necessarily mean that they stack. I might need to actually make that a point. Alright, hold on. As I'm gonna do my stretches too. But hello, everybody. I hope everybody's night was good. I hope everybody's day was good. Oh my god. I had a really busy ass weekend. And I got a little sick from it. But this has probably been one of the weakest sicknesses that I have gotten. Which I very much appreciate. Because I got a sore throat upon getting home. And that didn't even really last 2 days. And now I'm just on the cough phase of it. And that hasn't even been as bad as it normally has been. So I can't really complain. I still feel it, obviously. But still, I'm much better than I normally have been. Anyways, actually, no, hold on, before I mention this, so I guess just a little fun piece of information. This is my 99th stream. So, the next time I do this, I'll be at 100 streams total. And I have a little thing planned for it. It's cart related. June 10th, so next week, I'm gonna be joining a few friends for a little cart nights. I'm still trying to nab some people for that. But I want to do something special for the good old 100. You know? I have ideas, some of which probably just based off of timing are gonna be like extended probably until like a 3-year anniversary, so that would be like in a month and a half. Cart night at Freddy's. Imagine if I just ditched Cart altogether and I just started streaming that. I think it'd be really funny. I've heard that game's dog shit. Anyways, so I think there'll definitely be Cart. I've had idea of returning to that idea. Like, remember like a while back when I tier listed all of like my current streams that I had like a year and a half ago? I want to do that, but like now that I have like a full 100, I want to like, I think it'd be really funny to like actually tier every single stream that I've done. So that literally extends from like all the game stuff, the bonfire nights, the editing streams. That one stream that I did that wasn't even an hour. And like we're putting it in like the same tier as like, say like the 5-year card anniversary. That was like almost 6. But yeah, we'll do something like that. It'll either be like a full tier ranking or maybe like a top 15 something of like my favorite streams that I've done. I feel like if you've been around the block long enough, you'll know what my top 3 is. At least maybe my top 2, but still. Yeah, anyways, but yeah, thank you again. Because we were finishing up that season's beatings thing, and my god, dude, genuinely, like, I was, like, still in my seat. I couldn't move. Like, when I found out that, like, I was in Grant, like, I felt like all the tension in my body just completely release. It was genuinely, like, it was so ungodly, like, stressful. And I wasn't even, like, in control of anything going on. But, dog, that's almost true, Jet. But, anyways. Yeah, so I guess that's a little thing, keep in the back of the mind. And I'm probably gonna put a, community post. And maybe a post on maybe, like, Twitter or Blue Sky regarding it. But yeah, that just, my 100th stream's coming up and I'm gonna be booting up Card again. Because I haven't even streamed that in maybe, like, 8 months. There's a chance that I'd like to try the double stream thing again since it worked really well the last time I did it for the 5-year anniversary. Regardless. But yeah, so that's a little thing to look out for. Remember, Wednesday, June 10th. Anyways, now for the thing that we are actually here for. So I went to Colossalcon again, as we've discussed twice before on this stream. It was my 4th Colossal, and this time we actually had hey Spade, we actually had another person join us in Doyless, who you've seen plenty of times on my streams. And Biggie joined, of course, since he has been every other time. But yeah, we had a party of 3 this time. The final Colossal. Yeah, you wish. But yeah, it was a blast, just like always. This continues to be my favorite convention that I go to. It is just, it's so much fucking fun. It's literally, like, as GK's described it, like the freaking, oh my god, the kazoo serenade. Okay. Hold on, I gotta warm this up. Okay, alright, for all my Enigma fans out there, and all my pure moods and joys, I'm gonna pull out, this is Enigma's biggest hit. This is Return to Innocence on kazoo. Oh, you want sadness? Okay, I can do sadness if you want. Well, so I'm trying to, like, go out in my head. It's like, that's the chant, right? It goes like, ça de moi, ça donne-moi. And then it just, like, keeps playing on and on. Yeah, there's your little sadness. If you want an encore, you gotta redeem that shit. You know how this works. You didn't even spell encore right. Okay, there it is. Now here's Return to Innocence by Enigma. There's your encore. I'm putting the music back on. Anyways. Jesus Christ, I gotta... I kinda lost my track of thought there. Alright, Colossal, yes. This is me, Biggie, and Doyless this time. And we did a fuck ton of shit. And I have videos and pictures that I want to share, and it's just a matter of finding which ones that I think will be good to show. Let's see. So, I think here's a good place to start. Let's talk about the arcade. So, pretty good. Pretty solid arcade, all things considered. You had, like, all your... Yeah, yes, we did. No, so I was actually playing against Doyless on the Fate cab. And I mopped the floor with him. But then again, I think that was also, like, his first time playing that game. And that game's like a 3-button fighter, so you can't even use half of the board, which is kind of funny. They also, shockingly enough, they had a couple rhythm games, like a lot of your returning stuff, like your Jubeat and like all your like the little keyboard one. Astonishing, I didn't play any of them, which I've always played like at least maybe like 5 times every week. But to be fair, that's probably because I spent so much time when I was at the arcade. I spent most of my time on the CVS2 cabinets. And I think I did okay. Like, I did jump my brother and Doyless once each. I remember watching my brother play against a dude, and my brother was actually on a win streak against the guy. And then as soon as I did not kill everyone, hell, there were a couple times where I got killed. So the other dude hopped off against that cab, so then I basically snuck on without him noticing, and I basically whooped the living fuck out of CO on CVS2. Oh yeah, and by the way, I did cosplay for part of the convention, and I was cosplaying as the Fiend Bray Wyatt like I did last year. Dude, and I wiped the fuck out of him with the costume on, like mask, wig, all that shit. And dude, I'm telling you, once we did like a single match, and CO was just not allowed to exist when we were playing. I only ran like I only needed to run like one character on my team, and it was Terry. And I just took care of that man. Because apparently I heard him. No, it was like one of his friends that was watching him. Apparently, just recognized that I was the dude playing against him, and CO was saying like, dude, like this Terry is doing like some pretty crazy shit. And then his friend looked over to the other cabinet and was just like, I got some bad news for you. And then we finished the match, and then he walked over and I said like GG's and shit. And they're like, dude, that's fucked up. And then just started laughing. It was kind of fucked up, but it's still funny. Yeah, honestly, that's an insane combination right there. And then I jumped Doyless later on, who was playing against a guy. And then he didn't even... We did 2 matches. The first match definitely went better than the other one. And the reason why is because M. Bison is kind of like my Achilles heel in that game. I have a bad time when I have to fight against a Bison. And this is gonna sound kind of fucked up, but when his Bison match started, I genuinely thought someone else was playing the cab. And I was like, wait, I'm not fighting the same person anymore. And then I ended up winning, He got, like, 2 of my guys, though, with Bison, but Haomaru with that fucking strong slash just comes in so clutch. He got up, and I said, like, my GG's to him, because, like, he was about to walk up and he didn't even recognize me. I was just like, I said, hey, GG's, and then he looked straight and saw me, and he was just like, God damn it. Unfortunately, I did not get to play any fighters with Biggie. We did play Windjammers, though. Because they had Windjammers for maybe, like, a quarter of that weekend. They swapped it in, like, relatively late. Which, I mean, all things considered, like, that they were basically hosting Third Strike on that same cab. Which I didn't do great on, because everyone that I played against was just better than me. Otherwise, it was all fine and dandy. One thing that I did, and this honestly might be a highlight of my weekend, if anybody in chat has seen the video that I posted on YouTube. So in the very back of the arcade, there was a station for, like, a Cleveland gaming con. And what they had was they had like some consoles for one thing. But the big thing that they had was a giant-ass NES controller. And they had an emulator that basically ran, like, probably, like, at least 1,000 different games on it. They had stuff ranging... Hey, Witch. Look at you with your 5-stream streak. You crazy, cool-ass motherfucker with you jiggling your 6 asses. Anyways, so what this emulator had, at least 1,000 games, ranging from the Atari 2600 to the Sega Dreamcast. Obviously, like, ideally, it's like you'd want to run, like, the NES, SNES games, or maybe, like, anything older, because, like, those are, like, 1 to 2 buttons. The highlight of my weekend was playing everything that you are not supposed to play on that controller. So basically, whatever was on the Dreamcast, or whatever was on the PS1, that shit, I think, maybe, other than the CVS2 cabinets, was what I spent most of my time doing in the arcade specifically. And I am telling you, that shit was so much fun. Me and Doyless were just fucking around on it most of the time. And the big thing that we did, and this is what was in the video that I posted a few days ago while I was still out, I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on that NES controller. And that was literally the only way that you had access to Marvel 2 at that convention, because they didn't have a cab for it. So if you wanted to play, you could. You couldn't play with anyone else. And you were literally reduced to, like, a third of your attacks in that game. You could only kick. So if you want to, like, forget about calling any assists or swapping out, forget about throwing, like, a basic strike or any of that jazz. Like, dude, it was so not a good idea, but we did it anyway because we thought it would be funny. And it turns out that I was absolutely right. I had the idea, I wanted to try doing a full arcade run with that controller. And what do you mean it sounds like a whole lot of nothing? What do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean by that? Are you saying this is a nothing burger story, or what do you mean by this? Because I think this is fucking hilarious. Anyways, I had the idea of doing an arcade run, just with the controller, just because I just wanted to see if I could. And I couldn't. Oh yeah, absolutely. It is like a bunch of nothing as far as how it's laid out. And there are some games on it that just straight up don't work, like Daytona USA. We tried it. Oh yeah. There's another game. There's a couple other games that just straight up don't work, but we'll get to those. And I actually have video for some of them that I want to show. So we had the recording for it, and then I kept going back, because after I said, like, we're never doing this again, I was like, I think it'd be really funny if I actually did a complete arcade run on that controller, which, considering A, you literally only have kick attacks, and B, you're running on pretty bad input delay on that thing. Not to mention that when you try to play those games, the D-pad's just straight up fucked. Like, it is so slippery. Like, you could be hitting you could clearly be hitting the right D-pad, but you'll just go up or down. Like, thank God that, like, the jumping was basically designated to a button on the older shit, because, like, that stuff, like, obviously, like, I don't know. They had to have thought that somebody was gonna, like, play those games on there. But that shit with the NES controller definitely had not had that in mind, but that's not even, like, a surprise. Like, you're not supposed to be, like, playing that on there. But I did, because it was funny. And everyone around me agreed. Hell, actually, I remember there was one dude that walked up and just saw I was playing Marvel 2. I was like, yo, this shit looks like ass. And I was like, it is ass. And I was like, oh, I was excited till I saw this. And he was looking at the NES controller, and then he walked away. Funniest interaction. So yeah, I tried a couple games. I tried Choo Choo Rocket on that controller, and it was the first time that I've ever played Choo Choo Rocket. And so, like, that's a great first experience. Like, hey, I now, like, every time if someone ever brings it up to me, just be like, hey, have you ever played Choo Choo Rocket? It was like, yeah, I have. It was on a giant NES controller at a convention. And then I get to tell the story. And in that scenario, you only can place tiles that move the choo-choos right or down. So you had to be particularly strategic on where you place them. And in some scenarios, you were, as far as, like, the mode that I played, where you have to, like, get them into one of the four corners that your color's in, you have an easier time getting them than others. Like, for example, I was put on, like, the top left. That's where you start, and then, like, that was particularly easy. It just, like, it kind of comes down to just knowing where you need to put it, and sometimes it's easier than others. I did shockingly well. Like, I scored relatively high. I think I still got last, but I still ended up with, like, maybe, like, 400 or 500 points. Which shouldn't have happened, but then again, there were things that were going on the board that led to that outcome. I just think it's really funny. Let's see what else. Oh, so this is a game that worked 100% minus the lag. House of the Dead 2. That was something Doyless had tried. And, like, literally, like, genuinely, the two buttons is all you need. You got the D-pad for controlling, and then you got your shoot buttons and your reload. It worked. Had it not been for the lag, just from, like, the emulator, I guess just what it was running on wasn't really that good, it probably would have been flawless. Now, this is the part where I kind of want to show some of the videos, at least of the stuff that I tried and played. There was one game that we tried because I just was so curious. Like, a lot of this just comes down to curiosity, obviously, but this shit was so fucking funny to me. Let's see here. Let's see if I can't add it here. There was one game that I played, and I've only played it one other time, and I own it on PS2, and I hit a wall because, like, there was a part where I just physically couldn't get through. Where is it? Where is it? Here. So, on the Dreamcast, they actually had, Echo the Dolphin Defender of the Future. And that shit ran abhorrently. I want to show this off because this shit is just too good. See if I can't, like, get this to...
What the fuck is happening?
So this is me from the backside.
Defender of the future.
Where is the sound?
What is happening?
Is this something that I have to do?
What is wrong with you?
But anyways, you still get the idea. This is literally what gameplay was like. Because on this game, the D-pad didn't work. Because I guess that's just not how you moved on the Dreamcast controller. So the whole thing is literally just Echo basically flopping on the seafloor like a fish that just flew up on land.
Viewer discretion is advised.
The only thing you could do was basically swim forward and dash. And that's what led to this. And the emulation on this game was particularly fucked up. So like, you just see like these ends of the world, like these just empty voids. That was just, yeah, that's where we basically had to call it there. It was so bad, but it was generally like the funniest shit. That whole thing was literally just us screaming. I believe it. What else? So this was a game that worked surprisingly well. It was WWF Royal Rumble.
Stone Cold Battle
They had on there. Still laggy, but it still worked relatively well with two buttons. The only issue is that, like, you know, you can't pin it this game. And I don't think you can do finishes either. Like you can't do like certain combinations to do like special moves and all that shit. There's a part coming up that I have to, that like I need you to see just because it was just so fucking funny to us. But one thing that I learned, like, I've played very little of this game. I was surprised to learn that you don't even need to
my camera's a bit blurry.
like, you don't even need to pin the guy to win the match. If you have more health by the end, you just win.
When you grapple?
Which I just didn't know that.
Like when you grapple.
Here's the Big Show just running in on me. Also, hello, Doylus. I told the story about how I jumped you on the CVS2 machine, and how you almost didn't notice I was there because you had your mask on. But it should be coming up soon. It's just it's slower because of the lag. And apparently, like, at some point during the match, like near the end, we just ended up in a boiler room, and I think that like there was like zero explanation for it. Big Show just whiffed the spot. Oh yeah, here it is. Watch Jeff Hardy and Edge.
Wait, Edge and Jeff and Edge. They did stereo high spots. And they're leaving.
There, that's what I wanted you. That's what I wanted you guys to see. They did a top rope dive, completely just fucked it, and then just ran off. What footage of you playing the rhythm games? But then I guess while we do it, if you have more of it, sure, absolutely. I do, like, obviously, like, you've seen me upload the Marvel 2 video, but if you have any others, I have stuff that Biggie recorded, and this is the third game that we tried. Sonic Adventure 2, because we just had to know since we're, like, Sonic geeks.
Oh god.
This game absolutely does not work.
Oh my
this game
god.
doesn't work with the D-pads either. The only thing you can do is jump in, like,
god.
spin
Oh.
and it still lags
Can you move?
horrendously.
This is like running on like a Game Boy Advance.
Like, just look, like, this is... It's so, like, we were laughing so hard at this.
We're just gonna let this run. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Can you jump?
Yes.
It's, dude, I'm, like, watching it again. This part I was nervous at, because, like, I didn't know, like, if I was gonna, like, hit a wall there, but you just jump in, freaking... Hey, oh! Since you're here, right after this video. Oh.
He can't move.
Wait, I know for a fact I recorded you playing House of the Dead.
Sonic, please.
And I'm
Sonic,
very
wake
certain
up!
it was your phone.
No.
But yeah, that was that. I guess while I'm still, like, talking and thinking, I'm gonna upload a video from one of the panels that we went to. Which literally was called Let's Go Gambling. Which I stayed for a little bit of. I didn't see the whole thing. But when I went, they were running this, like, horse race website. Where basically all these horses just move around a screen like the DVD logo. And we're basically, like, betting on who we think is gonna win. It's like there's, like, 8 horses in, like, these really tight tracks. Oh, hell yeah, thank you. Oh, wait, you recorded me doing this. That's really funny. I'm gonna download this too really quick. As soon as I let this video... Oh my god. As soon as I get that video uploaded, I will show the video that you just secretly recorded of me. But yeah, apparently there was a lot more going on at that panel. Like, my brother was there and they were running Smash Bros. Betting on there. There was another game that they showed off. It was just... Doyless, you've seen it before. Do you remember, like, what that was called? It was, like, throw in, like, 2 items and just have them fight each other. You've seen it before. Do you remember what it's called? Because I don't. Weapon balls. They ran weapon balls while, when I left, they ran weapon balls. I stayed for a little bit of it. Oh wow, you got a whole lot, actually. Okay. What else is there? Oh, yeah. Doyless. One of the last things we did, we tried to get a little through Sonic Adventure 1. Like, you just saw 2. But it seems that, like, you can actually get through at least the first boss of Sonic Adventure 1. Since literally, like, all you really need is the spin dash against Chaos. And then you could probably get a little bit more through Emerald Coast. I've never played it, so I don't know, like, the layout of the land on it. But what was... Oh, yeah, that was how... Wait, was this House of the Dead?
What?
Hey, Fire. What else? I'm looking through the shit. This was, I played, one of the... Alright, Doylus. Get back to work! We appreciate you stopping in, though. I'm just uploading a lot of videos to my, drive so I can get those on for you. I guess while I wait for these other videos. A little cool thing. I actually got to meet a friendo in Omega Zero, who some of you may know from Z's side of things, because they actually returned. Unfortunately, Kit didn't, but... Or Casey the cat. Neither of them did, but... GK, Z, Zinni, and Deku did. So it was really nice to get to see them again and actually hang out, do some stuff. They were actually behind me, watching me play the Dreamcast games on the NES controller. So they witnessed the pain with me. Hold on, let me get these up here. Alright, I don't... Okay, this was a game that Doylus, while he was in line for one of the rhythm games that he basically spent his time playing at the arcade, he secretly recorded me playing... Oh, that's not supposed to be that there. But the point is, he secretly recorded me playing Pac-Man. Because I was just nosing around. What I was looking for, because I started thinking about it, there was a Godzilla fighting game that was on one of the TurboGrafx consoles. It was Kaiju Daikasen. And I was looking for it because I felt like I just wanted to play it. I wanted to try it. And I did. And I sucked ass at it because I'm on 2 buttons. But while I was looking, I was on the wrong TurboGrafx. So while I was looking, I ended up just finding Pac-Land on there. So I just ended up, you know what, fuck it. I'll just play Pac-Land a little bit, see how far I can get there until I hit a fucking wall. D-pad half works. Your move buttons are your A and B on the controller. And then jump was actually down on the D-pad instead of up. And once you hit a wall... Once you get to the, like, springboard where you have to, like, jump over the freaking, like, lake, you can't do that. Because that requires you to, like, wiggle around on, like, whatever your movement is. And you kind of can't do that. I think the closest, maybe, would be, like, mashing both buttons, but I don't know how that would really work out. I played Pac-Land because it was funny, Biggie, and because I was looking for the Godzilla game. Otherwise, I did eventually finding it, but there's no footage of me playing it. Anyways, here's the gambling panel. This is one of the races that we did. So this is basically what it looked like. Like, genuinely, when I tell you how hype and how loud some of these races were. Like, there's Doylus up there. He was the white one. We just named him Nubby. Just literally after Nubby's Number Factory. And even the dude running the panel was like, wait, like Number Factory? I was like, yeah. And he almost won. He almost won, but he lost because he's a chud. And he sucks. That was kind of like, that bugged a little bit. Let's see what else we got here. We did that same Smasher Pass. That is a picture I straight up can't show live because it is very NSFW. I guess I could take some pictures of the cars that were there, because they have these every year. But yeah, the Smasher Pass was basically, it was the same people as last year. It was what we kind of like are like considering, like, you know, these guys have been here before. These guys have done like that same Smasher Pass. So, and like, cause we had me, Biggie, Doyless, and B. We had we made our own Smasher Pass that we wanted to submit for the con, and we were on the wait list for it, but we never actually got added to the schedule, which is really unfortunate. I think, especially with the crowd that that Smasher Pass did, and like even with its freaking like line, like people were literally like waiting outside to like actually get in because they were capped. I think we definitely could have done that and then some, like if we were in events 2, which was like the second biggest room. It was where like a lot of the concerts were, along with the wrestling. Hold on. These pictures are being a little annoying. But anyways, I guess since we were kind of talking about streams coming up, all 4 of us have basically talked about, hell, even one of my other friends who basically helped out with making the panel agreed that like he would be willing to sit on stream and actually present this to people. Yeah, I heard that too. Like, wait, you're talking about the gambling one, right? Whereas like it was like a near spitting image of CO. And again, like this was something that I wasn't really paying attention to, but just kind of hearing it in the back, like that was really funny. Like I'm just imagining like under Faker type shit. But regardless, still a very, very fun panel. I honestly, I wish I was there longer. But I think I was doing shit, likely. Anyways, here, I got there's some cool cars that they had. Wait, no, that's media. We need pictures. I need pictures of Carman. Oh yeah, and they can't show them because like frickin' like all files. Here you go. Oh, that one just straight up don't load because it's HEIC file. Hold on, let me fix this for you. I'm gonna have to do this a little bit. Bro, I love green. It's just unfortunate that it's not a creative color, you know? But orange is, and that's why I'm orange. Anyways, so it looks like we've got it fixed. So we will be able to actually show these now. Pictures. Yeah, I'm biased. What of it? Here's one. Oh my god. I took a picture of this one because it kind of just looked like a penny racer. Like if you've ever seen like Koro Q, it just looks like one of those cars. And then you have like that little like anime fucking titty chick over there on the corner that I didn't even realize was just like hanging out. And then, let's see what else we got here. Another one that I thought looked really cool. It kind of does look like a clown car. Then this one we had Gretty. This just looks like a rally car. I really like the color mixtures on it. I like the pattern. I just all around fuck with it. I even think the wheels look nice. Yeah, this one was really fucking badass. Then we got, let's see. We got this bad boy. As I freaking make it smaller again. A Yamato car. That I also like, these cars just have really sick patterns on them. Like, my god. Like the conventions that bring out like these custom cars are just consistently, I've just nailed it with like the designs. I don't know like how much of a pain that it must be to like basically print these on, and like what that whole process would be like. And then we got one more of the cars that were there. It was this one. You can kind of see it a little in the corner, but here, look at this one. This one, I think this one was my favorite. This one looks so fucking cool. Yeah, I mean, there's some people that really know this shit, but it's just from the lens of like maybe like me throwing myself into this. It's just goddamn. It's just really damn cool shit. Let's see here. I guess now, while I think about this, one thing that kind of surprised me is that I saw, like, very little of the wrestling. Which, even though that shit runs for 6 hours, I just was not there for, like, any of it. It's just, like, I was just damn busy. Like, I was just doing so much other shit that, like, I genuinely just kind of forgot that it was going on. I got, like, 2 matches. And one of them was the last one. Because the wrestling ended a half hour earlier than it was, like, I guess, advertised on the schedule. Which, main event, funniest shit ever, considering, like, what we were joking about the entire weekend. I'm trying to remember what that other... I think it was, like, Captain Kirk from Star Trek versus someone else that I don't remember what their name was. But the main event was a Fatal 4-Way match with Mystery Inc. So you got Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, and Fred. Daphne was someone's manager. I don't know who. But the Scooby-Doo shit, like, we were genuinely joking about that before that match even happened. It was like, bro, there better be a Scooby-Doo match, and they better be playing the Scooby-Doo Creepy Run song for their themes. Scooby did win a big-ass sandwich, and he held it like a title belt. That was pretty cool. He did a dive through the ropes, which was pretty cool. But yeah, that was just like, I really surprised myself how little of the wrestling I saw, considering how much I'm like into that shit. But I know there's gonna be like footage of it that's gonna be uploaded somewhere eventually. But regardless, the 2 matches I saw were pretty good, pretty fun. So I guess now let's talk about some of the concerts. I saw Kaza again. Kaza, for those who don't know, is a Japanese metal band. They've been around since, I think, 2010. And I have made it a point every year to see them at least once. And they're just awesome. If you haven't heard them, I absolutely recommend you listen to them. At least give them a single listen. Because I think they are absolutely worth the time for it. And they give away a lot of free stuff, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, genuinely, like, just incredible acts, great music. They played freaking Enter Sandman again at one of the concerts. But yeah, like, awesome. I got the lead singer's autograph and I got a picture with her too. Told her that like genuinely, like, every single time you're out, like, I will come see you. And like, I love what you do. It's great. I saw Professor Shy Guy, who is a DJ, who I wanted to see previous years, but I either kept forgetting to see him, or there were other things going on at the same time as his concerts that I just ended up choosing that over Shy Guy. But this year, because Doyless was someone who also, like, he wanted to see Shy Guy as well. So we finally got to go to one of his concerts, and that dude's awesome. He's also got some pretty cool shit. Someone that I should go a bit more into his library, because we went to the second concert, which was mostly covers, which, going back to what we were talking about, like, with the Scooby-Doo Creepy Run shit, he played Yeah by Usher, which is basically what that remix, that meme song, is based off of. At least that's the song that you hear in the games. And when we got to those points, I was basically just singing the Scooby-Doo song. And it was awesome, dude. I can't believe that it took a single Flash game that basically resurfaced like a month ago, and it's completely ruined how I view that song. Because before that, it was just like, oh, it was the #1 hit song from the year I was born. Now all I can think is like, Scooby-Doo, 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 Scooby-Doo. It's ruined it for me, and it's ruined it for some of my friends. It's become a vocal stim for us. It's like, we would randomly just be doing shit, and then somewhere down the line, one of us would just start, like, under our breath saying, like, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, and then everyone else would just start laughing. It happened in the car, it happened in the hotel, it's happened in some of the voice chats that we've been in. It's like, genuinely, it's like Spy says, the fucking brain rot is terminal. But, it's so fucking funny, dude. And I was also saying, like, even before we got to the hotel, I was saying, you guys, I will be the reason none of you guys sleep. Because in the back of your mind, you're going to have it that at some point, one of these nights, in the middle of the night, I'm just going to randomly start playing that song. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen. It got to the point where it was technically the Sunday, like the Saturday or Sunday night. like the last night we were at the hotel. So everyone basically knew that I was going to be doing the bit that night, just didn't know when. The problem was, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when we got back to the hotel, because we did the water park. And then another bit, which we'll talk about in like a minute or so, where I just was like, it's 4:15, I gotta get some fucking sleep, because I'm gonna get like just over 5 hours tonight, because we want to be there at 10 for our, like, the panels that we want to see. So I just did it at 4:15 while they were still awake. So I'm like, dog, I'm like, I can't fucking do this. We all still laughed. Doyle said, like, bro, you got like a rock that I can throw at this guy. And then the first day we got to the hotel, I ended up using the bathroom, and I just played the Creepy Run song through the bathroom door. And like I could hear those guys being like, "Oh my fucking god, dude." And Doylus faked me out because we brought water bottles. I genuinely thought that he was gonna fucking chuck that thing in my head. Like, I completely fucking jerked when I saw, like, that he was basically, like, rearing up for it. Actually fucking gave me a heart attack when it happened. But it's still funny, though. And I know it's funny because I think the next day, when Biggie was using the bathroom, he played the Scooby-Doo Creepy Run song through the bathroom door. And then Doris and I just looked at each other like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You see, like, how me and my friends just have fun? How it's basically, it revolves around just us fucking with each other the whole time? But it's okay. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I closed my chat dock on accident. There. Yeah, that was bad. What the fuck? Hold on. Okay, that's how that works. Well, I plotted it first. I don't think he would have done it had I not done it. But anyway, so back to the other thing is, and this is basically why we got back to the hotel at like 4. Because, so we were waiting for Doylus because he was changing in the locker. I forgot that, so I left my pass at the water park. And I genuinely didn't realize it until we were about to, like, leave the hotel. Which I think, all things considered, I probably could have got it back that Sunday, but I would have had to go through, like, the actual, like, Kalahari entrance instead of the convention center entrance. And this was, like 3:30 once we realized this. So I had to basically run back into the park. And they were basically still clearing everyone out and basically cleaning up for the night when this happened. I just told one of the, like, Kalahari people what was going on. They brought me to the Lost and Found, and I just told them, like, what my pass looked like. As, like, it had the autograph, it had 2 ribbons on it. And then they found it. Because what happened was I had initially marked, like, our spot somewhere else, but CO and his friends walked past me, and he basically told me that they marked their stuff on, like, the far corner where the hot tubs were, and there's, like, this giant air vent right next to it as well, where there's, like, this little corner of tables. And that's where GK and her friends were gonna put their stuff too. So it's like we just all, so it's just like, it was easier, like all three of us could have our stuff at the same place. I basically moved all my stuff back there except my pass. And I genuinely didn't realize it until right we were about to leave, and it would have been really bad if I kind of just didn't realize where it was, because I probably would have forgotten like where I had it last. Because like I wouldn't have been able to go back to the convention. Like I wouldn't have been able to do any of that shit. We probably would have had to like leave just straight up. Which I don't fucking want to do that. Like I don't want to have to be the reason like why they have to leave early. Like that's not fair. Like, I probably would have just ate it and probably hung out in, like, the hotel lobby or something. I would have just found a way. Or I could have there's a mall, like, a few miles down I probably could have went to. But, like, you know. Because they sell their stuff. I want them to enjoy it, and I don't want it to be the reason that they, you know, they have to leave early, like. Because that's not fair to them. But it all worked out. We all got to do our shit. Yeah, the water park, dude. Oh my god, that shit was so much fucking fun. It was a Pokemon themed rave. So like all the beach balls were like Pokeballs. We were in the wave pool. Me and my group and GK's group. We were basically just like smacking around a dodgeball. It was a lot of fun. We chucked the ball at each other a couple times. I think Biggie got the ball chucked at him a couple times, and most of those times were me chucking it at him. I remember I chucked it at and we're chucking it at each other's heads, mind you. I definitely chucked it at Biggie's head at least maybe 5 times. I know I chucked it at Doylus once. And the only reason I did is because, so for one thing, if you haven't seen him, Doylus has long hair. So he basically stuck his whole, like, head under the water. And then he came back up, and all of his hair was basically covering his face, so he just looked like a monster. And as someone, like, he already can't see without his glasses, basically, like, his eyesight is horrendous. So he's basically standing there with the freaking hair over his eyes, and I just throw the ball at his face because I thought it'd be funny. And then he just throws a middle finger at me, and it's great. Deku chucked the ball at me, and I had no time to react. And I basically just laid in the fucking water for a few seconds and pretended that, like, I just got assassinated or something. Which, to me, like, it's still funny, but I also understand why I probably shouldn't have done that, considering, you know, lifeguards are, like, right there who are, like, not gonna understand that I'm just joking. Hell, even one of the other guys that was basically smacking around the ball with us picked me up. It was just like, dude, you alright, dude? It was just like, yeah, I was selling. But yeah, it was still really fucking fun. They had a couple basketball hoops. We basically shot ball around. At the end of it, it basically went from like, we're just throwing the ball into the hoop. Hey, unstable. Bro, I am charging it so hard right now, dude. But anyways, we just shot the ball around, and then it just got to the point where, like, we just started throwing the balls at each other because every time the balls would just land on the water, it would splash water, like, in our faces. So we basically just started leaning into that and just started throwing the balls at each other, trying to get each other's eyes. Which, was pretty bad for some people. Like, if you looked at Biggie, you would have thought that he was, like, on some damn edibles or something. Like, you would have thought that man was, like, hitting the za or whatever the fuck. It was really fucking funny, because, like, then there were other people there, like, who, like, you saw, like, no difference in color. It just sucked, really. It's like those instances where you just want the goggles or whatever. Yeah. Okay, for a second, I wasn't looking at the chat widget. I was looking at my screen, so I thought that was Change saying that you looked like you were taking fans. So I was like, Change, how the fuck would you know that? You weren't even there, dude. But, anyways, after that, we kind of just split up, did our own thing. Me, Biggie, and GK went into the lazy river, and most of that experience, because we were looking for the others, who just went off and did their own thing. Most of our time in the lazy river was basically GK it was me falling behind, GK trying to get further ahead, and when we were all tied to each other, she was dragging us into the waterfalls. And it was basically like, bro, my sister's acting out against me and I don't know why. I've done, like, literally zero to deserve this treatment. It was absolutely funny. You know what was even funnier? The fact that your tube was too small for you and you kept flipping over in it. You tried, like, what? 6 times? That shit was so fucking funny. Made even funnier by the fact that at any point you could have asked for a trade. Yeah, those tubes just, they only come in 2 sizes. There's, like, small and regular. You had to, like, you had to lay on your stomach for you to be on it. Like, you had to, like, paddle with your arms, dog. Like you're on a surfboard. Oh, back-to-back Wii Party music. Hell yeah. Felt like a dog swimming. Honestly, I see it. Hold on. I almost accidentally deleted the emulator videos. Because I need these. Oh wait, I already do have these. What am I talking about? What am I doing, dog? But yeah, then after that, me and Doylus basically just went off and we did the water slides, which were really damn fun. Remember, we basically did most of, like, the body slides. There was like, because there's in the water park, there's like 2, you have like your sets of water slides that are on like the completely different ends of each other. We did the body slides, which were a whole lot of fun. Really damn fast, and like basically like pitch black, which I loved. And I was doing like one of my other vocal stims where it's just like, I can't see. Because I couldn't. And then there was another slide that he and I did, where it's basically like one of those. It's like where you have like 3 to 4 people in a single tube, and you're just going down. Unfortunately, the one that I'm talking about, like this one didn't have like the bowl in it, where you basically just start like going around in a circle until you just end up falling into this big hole. There was another body slide like that I wanted to do, but the line for it was moving so damn slow that I just didn't feel like it was worth waiting in, especially considering that it was like 2 o'clock and the night swim ended at 3. Honestly, dude, those night swims need to go on longer. Because, like, and this is the thing, like, because, you know, they say time flies when you're having fun. I was shocked to learn that it was 1 o'clock when someone got a time check. Because, like, at that point, all we had done was the wave pool and the basketball. Like, we hadn't gone into the hot tub yet. Or, like, any of the other slides. We hadn't really explored, you know? I thought about getting a drink there, but I just decided not to just because I just wasn't feeling it. I did get an overpriced slice of pizza, though. The only reason I did that is because at that point I hadn't eaten anything in like 10 or 11 hours. Because my group and GK's group went up to this restaurant that I talked about last year that had these giant ass milkshakes. And we all basically went up there and we had a group lunch. And it was really good. Again, like that's kind of like I think that might become a Colossalcon tradition, that one of those days we just go up to that restaurant and eat there. They are pricey. Like their food reaches like Five Guys pricing. But the difference is that this is a sit-in restaurant. And their burgers are like just over Five Guys in terms of price. But the thing is, like, it's quality. But don't even get me started on the milkshakes. Those shakes are still like $13. Except, I did a smart thing this year. Instead of waiting to get my milkshake after I have my full meal, I got the shake first. I decided I wasn't going to get like a soda. I was just going to get my shake straight out. Just so that by the time that I finish it, I'll still have some room for whatever food I get. And then there'll still be like some stuff that I don't finish. But I don't feel bad about like, I won't have to feel bad about basically not putting a dent in my shake. Like I did last year. I basically finished that whole shake. And it was just as good as I remembered it. I remember Biggie was trying to finish his, and he was like, I need some like lock-in or like hype music. And then me and Zinni played the Scooby-Doo Creepy Run song. And he finished the shake, so obviously it worked. But it was just really funny. I think it was like he was talking about like putting on like a song from Inception, and I did actually load the playlist and find the song, but I still played the Creepy Run song anyway because I thought that was funny, and it turns out, as always, I'm right. You know. But yeah, that was a good ass fucking lunch. And the thing is, it's like, it's right, like it has like windows to the water park, so you can basically just like watch everybody walking around. Has a giant slide that you get a perfect view of. It's great. We also did our Red Lobster dinner like we always do. And I got basically to go a bag of like 10 cheddar biscuits. Cuz I absolutely fucking adore those biscuits. They're like my favorite biscuits ever. I've said before that I would suck dick for some Red Lobster cheddar biscuits, which is something that I keep saying, but I probably will reconsider because I don't think I'd be willing to go that far. There was a point, because like Red Lobster like sells, I think, the batter for it, or like a main ingredient for it, and my mom made her own cheddar biscuits like over 10 years ago. We haven't done it again since. The only thing that I think I had issue with, that any of us had issue with those homemade biscuits, was that the bottoms were like charred black. Otherwise, they were great. I know someone's gonna dare me to suck dick for some cheddar biscuit. But it was, dude, I fucking can't with those. I love them so much. Something else that I did that like I basically have done every year I go to Colossal. There's this 2-hour panel called Shout Out to All Black Anime Characters. And it's the same presentation every year with the same beats and all that. But the reason I keep going back to it is because of the dude that hosts, who actually has his own YouTube channel. His name's Ceros TV. So it's CEROS in TV. He does like multiple videos daily. But I've kind of, unfortunately, like, his content just isn't for me. Like, he does critical style videos on a lot of like real world like news and events, kind of talking about like that kind of shit. But like a lot of the stuff that he says, like, I agree with, but unfortunately, like, this just kind of isn't what I really want to be watching or like engaging with, because I feel like if I gave that kind of shit too much of my time, I would just kind of start feeling a lot more depressed, you know? That's like, it's literally why that I don't watch the news. Like, is I can't. Like, I understand the importance of being an informed citizen, so like there's some things that like I'll peep when it's essential, you know? Like this like stuff that I have to know just like as a person. Otherwise, like I steer clear of it. I can't fathom how people do that stuff, like news and politics, as like a profession and a career, or like people that basically just center their social medias around politics and like other world news stuff. Like, I can't fathom how you do that. And I know for a fact there's some people that do that and they're just like absolutely fucking miserable. And you can just see it based off of like what they post and like how they might act like off of social media. Looking at one specific person. If you know, you know. Otherwise, but yeah, I think the dude that hosts the panel is just like a natural entertainer. Like, this dude is so off the cuff, and he's so well articulated, and he's so fucking funny. I remember there was like this, like he just doesn't miss a fucking beat. There were 2 points in the panel where he was talking about characters that he hates, and there was someone in the crowd that booed. It was just like, who booed? It was just like, I did. It was like, you like this character? I'm like, yeah, kill yourself. Twice, at least when I was there. It was so fucking funny, dude. But like this, he's such like not only like he's like a good entertainer, but he's an exceptional speaker. Like he knows like how to communicate shit. That where like even though that I'm not really a fan of his style of like YouTube content, I still respect him. And I respect it because it's for the most part well put together as far as like scripting and like, you know, how not just what he says but also how he says it as well, because delivery also matters. Especially when it comes to comedy. Cuz like a joke or punchline can be funny, but it also really matters how you carry it, I guess it is like the word. I guess while I think for like other stuff to say, I'm gonna try to find some more pictures and video that I can show off. There was a Scuffed Jeopardy that I went to, and there was a highlight from that panel, because like the Scuffed Jeopardy, like for the most part, had like was kind of anime centered, but it also just had like random shit on it. There was one slide that was basically just had a bunch of pictures of deodorant. And the question was, what is this? And then some dude buzzed in and just said unnecessary. Which had the whole room dying, laughing. That dude had so many points docked off for him. Which, that is just... Dude, I think I probably told my brother that. Looking around, nosing all these. There's the gambling. There was a Markiplier Cinematic Universe panel that I went to that just basically went over like the history of like Markiplier lore. There was a Pro Wrestling Explained for anime fans that we went to, which I also saw last year, which was pretty fun. What do you have to look at? What, have you never heard O2 Battle? Unstable, what do you have to show me? Is this in like Discord DMs or like what was going on? Also, there you are. I've very likely seen this before. I haven't seen this version, but I've seen others like it. This is really good. Also, I won't be friends on Discord, but you don't accept them. Anyways, that was a really good video. So I guess the other videos are uploading to my drive right now, so I will have those momentarily. I also had something else that I was gonna say, but I already forgot. The Chinese kept wanting to friend me. I don't know if that's like a joke or that's a real thing. But I also feel like I have reason to believe that. Let's see here. Here's like another thing that we did was every year we've gone that they've had it. They've like y'all know the Donkey Kong Country sing-along, like the Donkey Kong Country cartoon. and like how it's basically just a musical. I think the last 3 Colossals that I've gone to, they have basically had a thing for that show where they just grab a bunch of songs from there, and it's basically literally just a sing-along for all the fucking nerds. I've gone with GK's group the last 2 times, and it's just a fun time because the music in that show is genuinely just good. And that's while we were out, we had the idea for a stream where we just tier rank the songs from the show. And I know it would work because there's already like a community rank for it. Like, it already exists, and because I looked out of like curiosity, and like there have been a couple people that have basically made one for like every song, which there's like 84 across the 4 seasons. Ah, okay, that's fair enough. Regardless, I looked through that playlist of all the music in that show. There isn't a single song that's like longer than 3 minutes. So all things considered, you could basically blow through all like every musical number in the show in less than 2 hours. Hell, maybe like less than an hour and a half. But I think if we were to do that stream, it would basically be these conversations are just going to eat up a bunch of time, like debating on what tier we think this song should go into. Like, we've like all 8 of us agreed that we think that this would be like a fun stream idea. Anyways, let's show off a couple pictures, shall we? Now that I've got some up. Here's one, like, here's a few from the panel. This one was just funny. It's just a picture of Donkey Kong throwing the thumbs up, and it just says creeping. We thought this has some pretty good meme potential. And then there was another one that we thought was really funny. Where is it? This one. Giant photo. Gotta resize a little bit. It's just another, like, DK with a thumbs up. It just says, I like evil. This has fantastic meme potential right here. At least I think. But yeah, GK's group definitely freaking has more, like, they were able to sing along better just because they knew the words better than the 3 of us did. Especially Zinni, like, who I was sitting next to, basically knew some of these songs verbatim, which I think is just awesome. And they always, like, finish off with the DK rap. So what I end up doing, just because I think it's funny, I basically sing the Jimmy Davis YTP version, the Decayer app. I've done it basically every time I've gone to that panel, and while I was doing it, Zinni was basically flipping back and forth between both versions, which was great. Especially when we got to, like, the Michael Rosen rap part of the song, which is, like, right at the end. So basically getting to, like, duet that part with him was kind of fucking baller. And then, let's see here. We got some other things. I found on the floor, there was just, like, random leaf that was just kind of laying there, where like we kind of just started joking that like someone just left marijuana on the floor, because it looks like this is just straight up marijuana. I made the joke that it's like this is literally like the 420 awards freaking logo, because like it's like that exact shape that you would probably find like if you looked at marijuana. We made even funnier that the Cool Cat cosplayer was at the convention again as well, and they're all like under the Derek Savage umbrella of entertainment. And Cool Cat has shown up on 420 Awards media, because of course he has, because Derek Savage doesn't understand things and like what's appropriate for his children's brand. But honestly, I think that's kind of what I like about him. Here I found a poster of one of the doors on the first floor, like leading into the arcade. These are always fun to look at. It's just them in like just random positions. Like you have like this one dude in like the bottom center doing like one of those like meme scream things. I think it's like imitating that one chick after Trump won the 2016 race. But yeah, this is hell yeah. I love the mood of that poster. Let's see here. Oh, here's another one. It was a fuck, marry, kill of one. They had like a specific person, and the person in question, if this thing will like actually like size appropriately, was Christopher Robin of Winnie the Pooh fame. And we have to specify the adult version of Christopher Robin for obvious reasons. And it looked like it was overwhelmingly. Wait, no. Wait, what the fuck? I didn't even see. Oh, it was a Pokemon fuck, marry, kill. Why the fuck is Christopher Robin on there? I know he's like elderly in like the live action movie. We had Mr. Mime, Grimer, and obviously Gardevoir. So it was like, yeah. I'm just looking at these now. Because I didn't even see, like, this side. I only saw Christopher Robin. I was like, why the fuck is he on here? Isn't he, like, an old man in, like, the live-action thing? Does that say Jews over there? Oh my god. But, yeah. That was a thing that was there. Hell, dude, Christopher Robin's my favorite Mega Evolution. Now let's look at some cosplays. Oh, back-to-back Brawl music. There was one that I ran into on the I ran into like right next to the restaurant that we met at for lunch, and you can already kind of see it. But it's a Stephen Blue from Blue's Clues, and he had the freaking handy dandy notebook too. This was freaking awesome. And something else that I thought was fucking cool that they let me do, they actually let me draw a clue in the notebook. Because their thing was they were basically looking for ribbons from the convention. So I basically drew a thing that I had actually got a ribbon from. I got a ribbon from someone in Dealers just because I purchased from them. So I basically drew that table in Dealers from memory, because they had like a lot of like oil paintings and freaking like prints. They had some like ninja figurines too. So I basically tried drawing that. So it was like I wanted to actually help them because I know like some other people were just kind of drawing shit in there. So I decided I was like, you know, I'm actually going to help these guys out. I want to give them a little something to go off of. And I basically told them that, like, if you want to get this ribbon, it does actually, like, require a purchase. Which they had followed up on, like, does it require multiple purchases? It was like, no, it's just, like, you just need to buy, like, one thing from these guys. And then you'll be good to go. I don't know if they ever found it, but when I left, I realized, wait, why didn't, like, I could have drawn something, like, much simpler, because the booth that I bought from, basically that business's name is Painting Ninja, so I literally could have drawn, like, the head of a ninja on an easel, and then I could have had, like, that little thing that all the fucking painters have that they put like all their colors on with the brush, has the hole in it that they basically just put around their arm to hold it. I literally could have just done that, but I didn't, and I was kind of upset because it would have been a lot simpler and would have taken less space on there. But it doesn't matter. I had a lot of fun drawing it anyway, and like they were already kind of occupied with other people taking pictures, so it was like I kind of had an excuse. But dude, this was fucking adorable. It's not even like being lazy, it's just more like cleverness and like simplicity. This is another highlight right here. This shit, I think some people saw this in a couple servers, but I actually ran into the fucking legend himself, Stone Toad. Look at this. It's awesome. As soon as I saw this, like, I knew I had to get a freaking picture. I don't think Doyless ever saw it, or Biggie. I just randomly just walked past ideas. I'm like, oh my god, it's the Stone Toad. He's like, what? And then we just started trading Stone Cold lines. This was just a really lucky find. But my god, Stone Toad will return very soon, depending on whenever I decide to pick up Miitopia again, because I know he was a character in there. Oh wait, no, I already showed that one. Hey, Wolf. You were thinking about going to change your mind about what? Again, I think I got a little confused. I gotta see what other pictures I got. Because at some point I gotta freaking... Oh yeah, I just have a random picture of like a bar. They were showing South Park next to Bluey, which I just thought was really funny. And it was also just like, this is very like of a con like this to do. There was a poster on one of the doors that was basically just like an in memoriam of Harambe, because apparently I guess it's just been like the... Are we back? I think we're okay. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why that happened. Anyways, but yeah, oh god, if this ends up being like another freaking like what the dub situation. Oh well. But yeah, there was a poster on here that was basically like, yeah, Wolf, I think you should absolutely try going to a Colossal. I think you'd have a really good time with it. But yeah, there's like a freaking There was one that was just a rip Harambe. That had a dick on it, because of course dick's out for Harambe, which is why I can't show the picture on stream. There was also like, had like, basically like a tally marking for shit like beer, liquor, weed, feet, and gay bar. Yeah, basically a lot of sex on that poster. There was someone dressed as the fake chest from Dragon Quest, which I can actually throw that picture up there really quick. My last words were Harambe Memorial. That's really funny. Oh yeah, I went to like a panel that was basically just like live reading bad fan fictions, which I was just there for like a brief stint. Because it was basically running up against other stuff that I wanted to see. There was another panel that I went to that was basically like, what do you think has the most searches on Rule 34, and how many searches do you think it has? I saw a bit of that. I saw there was one. I have a picture of it. It's just Brock from Pokemon. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there was another panel I went to. Is basically just showing off a bunch of B horror movies that range from actually being kind of alright to just being absolute dog shit. Oh, those that looks like Stream Struggle. Okay, it's good now. Anyways, at some point I probably, if this does become like a recurring problem, I might actually have to consider running in like safe mode or something. But, well, this is another stream that I'm basically gonna have to stitch together, and it's gonna be a giant ass fucking file. Let's see here. Okay, we died again. So I'm actually I'm running this in safe mode now. Cause I don't really feel like dealing with this longer than I feel like I really have to. Well, that took. Look, actually, let me look at these like crash reports. Like, what's the deal with what the fuck is going on? You right here. I don't know what any of this shit means. I should not have opened that. I still have these crash reports from when I streamed What the Dub last. Oh my god, was that one? Oh my, yeah, 6 crash reports from April 19th. Hell yeah. I'm just gonna delete these. Anyways, as I was saying before, which I already kind of forgot, I was pulling up a picture. What? No! Wolf, no! How dare you! I thought we were cool. Why would you do this to me? I love, well, actually, I don't know if I should love it. I don't know if I should love, like, the fact that even to this day, that's something that we still joke about happening. Because, like, anytime, like, someone mentions, like, saying a slur or something, or, like, says something a little more saucy, just mention, bro, like, what, are we gonna have another Thrillville or something? Or, like, bro, who do you think I am, Chris? I'm not gonna say this shit. Like, it's, like, even, like, to this day, is something that we still make fun of. Because, like, I know, like, we also, like, we still joke about it, even though, like, we acknowledge it was, like, it was a bad thing that happened. It was a really bad thing that happened that shouldn't have. Anyway, here's that, fake chest from Dragon Quest that I saw. I think has basically been there since, like, the first con that I've gone to. Because, like, I would sometimes just see it, like, sitting around. Thanks, Wolf. I knew I should have cropped that picture. I'll get on that. When, I don't know. I'm just, like, looking through my other shit. During the freaking, like, the B horror panel, they showed a movie called Frankenhooker, which is basically just about this one dude who's trying to get, like, all these, like, different pieces, like, body parts of, like, other women to basically rebuild his wife. There's a scene that they showed where I don't know what I don't remember what happened beforehand, but all of these naked women just basically just start exploding in this one room one by one. And it's so fucking weird, dude. The last girl that blows up is basically, like, is one of the guys who I think is the landlord opens the door to find, like, just to figure out, like, what the hell is going on. Basically, the girl blows up as soon as he opens the door, and her head just smacks him in the face. And it's great. That might be a movie I have to watch with friends. I think I have a couple people that would be down for something stupid like that. There's also another movie that we kind of saw a little bit of. It was called Anna and the Apocalypse, which is a zombie musical, which, based off of the opening track, actually looks pretty good. I think the singer, like, they do a pretty good job with singing. The only thing that I have an issue with is just the dancing isn't good. That's something I might actually have to seek out. There was another movie, I don't remember what it was called, but the scene that they showed was these three dudes basically leading a horde of zombies to, like, a giant, like, group of military personnel so they could just get shot up. And it's these two adults who's basically, like, with a bunch of kids trying to get them to safety. I think it's like a school group or whatever it was. And the person sitting in the back is basically playing, like, a bunch of kids songs on a ukulele, which is keeping the kids calm, but it's also, like, kind of serenading the zombies as well. because the zombies at a couple points start singing along with the songs, where like they do like if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, and the zombies they clap their hands too, and then like there were some really good bits in that fucking, and then it just ends with all them just getting shot up. Remember there was a bad anime panel that we went to. There was this, I don't remember the names of a lot of these, but there was just like there was one anime that basically revolved around this one dude being basically inducted into this club with these chicks with massive titties, and it ends up with him in a competition with them. I don't remember what I think it was like the prize was like, there was like a cash prize because the school that they go to like isn't really well funded or something like that. And they basically need to win the competition to get that money so they can have that proper funding. And it's basically just them going down like a lubricated water slide, and they can't let go of each other, otherwise they're disqualified. Which basically at like one point ends up with the dude's hand in another one of the girl's tits, and then later like fingers in her mouth, and it's really fucking gross, and I don't like looking at it. And she's like in pain. Like I'm recreating the image in my head, and I don't like it. Yeah, see, you understand what I'm talking about. There was another one that was kind of like, there was like a heist anime that was like, I think from the 80s. It was kind of funny. They described it as a guilty pleasure. I think it had like, he said he had like 6 episodes of it. But I basically just watched this group of thieves shoot up a bunch of cops and then throw a guy that ratted them out off of a train. And one of the guys is like covered in blood because I think he got stabbed and shot. I honestly might peek it. Because that does seem kind of like stupid fun. I think it started out as porn that started leaning more into the torture side of things. If I'm being completely honest with you. Oh yeah, there's another B-horror movie that they showed off, where it's basically these guys on a boat just get attacked by a bunch of killer piranha fish. There's one guy that one of the characters pulls off, and he basically has his entire lower body just chomped off by all the fish. And he basically just bleeds out on the boat. Yeah, I don't remember what that movie was called, but I feel like that was something I would also watch. I guess kind of going back to the concerts that I saw this metal group called Master Hand, where it's basically they just do like metal songs based off different video games, as you could probably guess. And they were all dressed, well, at least there was one guy that was dressed in a Donkey Kong onesie. And he was the lead vocalist for the group. And that dude's got a fucking voice. That dude can fucking sing. They had like 2 vocalists. The other one was dressed as Lucas. But the Donkey Kong was fucking going crazy. He was like running around the concert floor with everybody. Like that guy's got that like lead vocalist energy that like you want. But yeah, there was like the Mario, Luigi, and Wario and Lucas. Waluigi, I don't know what happened to him. They had a pretty good fucking mosh pit, I will say. And then I saw the Triforce Quartet, which I also saw last year in Event 2, because that freaking concert got loaded the hell up. And it also, like, it's stuff like this that kind of go to show, like, just how bad some of these lines are, because, like, especially, like, because, like, when you look on there, like, you just see what's going on in that room. It's genuinely kind of fucking nuts, like, just how popular some of these things are, and, like, you see how these lines just loop around each other. Like, I heard what that Smash or Pass line looked like. I saw what the Triforce Quartet line looked like. I heard what the Video Game Symphony line was like. Which is something that I'm kind of upset that I didn't get to. I really want to see the Video Game Symphony again. One, because they were fucking awesome the first time I saw them. But another reason why I want to see them is because one of my brother's friends plays in it. And I wanted to see that again. And my brother's friend is a celloist. So, you know, cello bros gotta stick together. Ugh. God, it's only been like 2 hours since I've been doing this. Thinking about other shit. Oh yeah, there was a panel that I went to that was basically like ranking a bunch of food mascots from how good or evil they are, which I thought was pretty funny. There was a panel that I went to. I think it was basically about Franz Ferdinand and how his assassination led to Japan's raccoon problem. This one time at right? But the Franz Ferdinand panel, I was just curious because of just the topic it covered, and I have one picture from this panel, and it's a slide of Hitler. It's just a picture of him on the side, and all the slide says is just canonically not a great guy. Which we were talking about, like, meme potential before. I think you could do a lot of shit with that. I just think that would be, like, a funny thing to post, like, every so often. Like, you know, like, those accounts that just post shit daily. I feel like I could do something, like, where I just post that picture daily. I think it'd be really good. Yeah, I'm just looking through all my photos again. What was this one? Oh, it was the Bad Anime panel. It had like a really catchy theme to it. It was the one where the dude basically just gets indoctrinated into this club where all the girls just have massive fucking titties. I'm trying to think of like other shit. Damn. I remember there was actually one other we played they had a cap for Grandmaster Tetris 3, and Doylus actually ended up beating it, like, straight up. I wasn't there for it, but I think he had a picture. But I'd have to ask for it. But he and I did play a couple games against each other, and I did get some off of him, but still, he's much better at like those. Like he's better at those puzzle games than I am, like Tetris and Boyo. Just very like all around fun times that unfortunately, at least arcade wise, were just eaten up by CVS2 or that giant NES controller. Ah, damn. God, I'm trying to, like, now I'm just, like, in these spots where, like, I keep trying to think of, like, stuff that I did. But I'm getting, like, so scatterbrained because I'm, like, jumping from thing to thing. I feel like I used to be better at doing these bonfire nights than I used to be. Like, I used to be so much better at these than I am now. Like, I remember, like, I did one that was, like, 4.5 hours. But, like, but that also helps that I just keep, like, venturing off into other topics that I just, you know. I don't know, bro. Whatever. That's probably why the other convention talk ones were so long. But, oh my god, I just realized fucking I don't have pictures of the stuff that I got from dealers. I did get GK a manta ray plush because I found out that she likes manta rays a lot. It's like one of her favorite aquatic animals. And she also got me another Metal Sonic plush. She also got me a Miffy pin from the mall that her group went to find like her costume. And she just found out from like the last time I visited her that basically when I was like a toddler, Miffy was basically like my rock cocaine. That like genuinely, if I was ever like feeling fussy or whatever, all she needed to do was put on Miffy and I was basically pacified. Which, considering that I basically grew up, well, I was basically a very young kid at the time that Peppa Pig was basically started up. Like, I'm the same age as Peppa Pig, which I didn't even know until like a few years ago. Change, you're younger than me. Shut the hell up. I know what you are. But like, and don't get me wrong, I still did watch Peppa Pig as a young kid, but Miffy was mine. And now I basically have like 5 Miffy related products thanks to GK because I told her that one time. And now she has fully leaned into it and started getting me a bunch of Miffy stuff. Which I don't have a problem with. I really appreciate it. I just think it's really funny that, like, every time now, like, I'm gonna walk away with something new that has to do with Miffy. But anyways, I gotta do my another stretch. Also, it's good to know that literally, I guess the way to go now is just to run OBS in safety mode. Because that's what I'm doing. And we haven't had any problems. I don't know, like... Like, it's been like a month and a half since that, What the Dub, and I don't know, like, what else, like, would have been causing those problems that I was having initially. Like, it's just, like, I don't get it. Right, like, and I know, like, it's the thing you always say, you can't spell OBS without BS. I don't know, I might just start running it in safety mode from now on. It has, like, everything that I need. Like, you from what it seems like, you guys still hear everything perfectly fine. I think the only thing that might have changed are just, like, some of the stuff on the top left, as far as, like, you know, widgets or, like, what other, like, things that I might not be able to access. But anyways, Colossalcon was an absolute fucking blast. And I'm glad that it has become, you know, it's basically my 3 cons that I do every year. It's the one that I always look the most forward to. And I'm glad that Doylus was able to join us this time. I was very excited for him because this is his first, like, full convention experience. He did join us for GalaxyCon last December, but that wasn't the full weekend. And even then, he basically agreed with me that was, like, there was, like, nothing really good going on. Like, GalaxyCon had so little going for it, and it was just so terribly put together that whatever good we really had from that con was basically drowned out by everything else that we took issue with. You know, I only ever started having problems with OBS until, like, after I started streaming. The problems started rolling around to, like, I think early 2024. But that was also, like, because I was trying stuff like the application audio capture, which is still in beta, by the way. I don't know when that shit's, like, gonna leave beta, but it's been in beta for probably as long as I've had OBS. Probably longer, too. I've had OBS for 6 years. And that thing's always been in the beta phase. And I had to stop using it because it started causing issues with my audio. Like, remember, like, some of the earlier streams, like the first few Thrillvilles? Remember Skullgirls, where, like, people would be talking and then it becomes, like, so damn crunchy for no reason? It's literally the reason that I basically run now off of an actual, like, mixing software. But whatever. Hold on. So I'm gonna be right back because I want to get pictures of the print and the oil painting that I got, and because I think those are, like, really pretty, and I want to share them with you guys. So I will be right back. Also, because I kind of got to refill my water and do a pee break. So I will be right back. You want me to say something, Nub? Hey, what's up? How have you been doing? It's been a while since we chatted. But yeah, anyways, well, for context, that is Julian Smith. If you've ever seen the video Hot Kool-Aid, that's the guy. He also made a song about jellyfish. No, not that, no. No, we've already dealt with this once on stream before. Oh, okay. Doorman from Deadlock. If I played more of that game, I would probably understand that reference. I know you invited me to, like, the open beta, or, like, the playtest thing. I think I played it once, because, like, I just wanted to try it. But I don't know, I guess just, like, I wasn't, like, too into hero shooters at that point, but I still thought it was alright, but this was also like before Marvel Rivals came out, where I was a bit more open to that genre. I would definitely reopen that game. I know I have another friend that's a lot more into it that could probably show me. It's not a fucking hero shooter. It's like Paragon. Regardless, I would still be open to playing this game again. MOBA. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I said what I said. I own that shit. Yeah, I've got a couple people who are into that. I'll definitely poke around. But yeah, regardless. What the fuck was I? Like, I was gonna say something. Oh, right. I had pictures. That I took, which is why I was gone a bit longer. And some of these are not fucking shown properly. There we go. Now to send these over. Clip what? Me calling Deadlock a hero shooter? Yeah, I was right. Whatever. Oh my god, yes, I want fucking these file types to save. Because I also can't believe I completely forgot that I got something else while I was out there that is very of me to buy, that I need to show off. I forgot the porn. Change, I already talked about it. You're not gonna get me to show it. Yeah, you heard porn. Uh-huh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Trust, he says. What's one reason I should trust anything you say? Anyways, here's the oil painting that I got. I'll just freaking shrink it down a little bit. Because we're friends, allegedly. You know, That's logic Jet would use on me, and then he would completely gaslight me for like 20 minutes straight. But yeah, this was the painting that I got. It really, like, this is exactly like one of my vibes. It fits the theme of the spare bedroom in our house because it's just ocean themed. Like, I could honestly put this in here and it would not be like out of place at all. I really love this, but I also have some other beach themed stuff in my room that I will be putting this next to. Hell yeah, me and Oil, dude, I'll eat this painting. Because I'm a fucking gremlin like that. Now, anyways, what the fuck is this painting doing on my screen? Get that off. Get that off my screen. Next, I got furry stuff. I got this because I thought it looked really cool. I'm trying to remember because this might have been the one. So this was the Painting Ninja booth that I was talking about. They ran a deal where it's like if you get it's $30 for 3 prints if you buy 3. But this was the one that this was basically their last one. That like so basically what I bought was this, which was the basically the one that was in the booklet of all the prints that you can buy. So I basically bought the display. You know what? That's Wolf, that's the realest shit I've ever heard you say. I think for me though, one of the wolves thinks that it's smart, but it's stupid. And that wolf is worse. Also, your alias literally is wolf. Of course you got at least one in there. But regardless, I really like this one. That's also real. But we need to fix that. But regardless, anyways, as I was saying, so I bought this one, which was basically the display piece. So where I was already getting a discount on it, I got another discount because I basically bought like the last one that they were basically it was supposed to just be there for show. So what was going to be a $30 payment turned into a $25 payment. So I was like, fuck yeah. Buy this cool ass art from you for less money. So this was basically like everything that I got from dealers, really. There was another like craft fair that I went to that was basically selling stuff. Fuck it, let's show it right now. This was from the craft fair. I don't think it should have been at the craft fair. I definitely think it should have been in dealers because I don't know how official this is, but I got me a metal Sonic pin because you know me, I gotta. I gotta give little shout outs to Doylus, actually, because he's the one that found this and texted it to me. And then right before the craft fair closed, I ran to it and basically bought that pin. It was $20, but honestly, it was kind of worth it. And it helps that this was the last one that the dude had. So I got there just in time. And I am very happy with this. Now, as for the other two prints, this one right here, got a little Northern Lights action going on here. This one also, like, all three of the prints, like, everything that I bought from this person literally caught my eye immediately, and I just, like, fell in love with it. So, basically, every purchase that I made this year was, like, without question, I have to have this. Like, there were no difficult buying decisions that I made this year. Even with some of, like, money being a bit tighter, I made it all work. I spent all of the money that I brought with me physically to this place. I think I left with, like, maybe $2 left, because the last of the money was basically spent at the flea market on Sunday, which there, I bought a Sega game called The Club, which is basically this third-person shooter where you're basically in this tournament where you're basically just running into these, like, abandoned places, so, like, killing people for sport. It's a fun game, I'm just not great at it. Because the thing is, like, you gotta be... Because it's not just about killing people, it's about killing people fast enough where you can, like, build up combos and not letting those combos just kind of sit and die. Yeah, $2. And then I bought Mario Galaxy 2, which was supposed to be $15, but I haggled a little bit and said, would you be willing to do 10? And he immediately said yes, and we just made the exchange. Which I realized I fucked up, because I knew that I had a Mario Galaxy game. I forgot it was Mario Galaxy 2. I thought I had the original already. Turns out I don't. Now I have 2 Mario Galaxies that I'm sitting on. So now I have to probably trade in that Mario Galaxy 2 or, like, sell it on eBay. At least one of them. Because I still gotta play it. That's true, but I can turn one of those copies into, like, profit. I could probably scour, like, what people are generally selling it on eBay, and I could probably, like, make a little more. One for eating. More like one for breaking my Wii, like I did the first one that we ever owned, where I just shoved a disc into it and then just, like, actually broke the damn thing. Now for the final one, which I think this might be my favorite print that I got. Absolute beauty right here. Look at this. Who hurt me? Dog, I was born a gremlin. Look, when you're born into a family that's mostly Irish, especially, like, with my parents, especially my mother's side, who's, like, full Irish, I was just born into a family that was just kind of inherently a bit more aggressive. Yeah, it's like that meme of, like, Rhett and Link, where Link just looks at the camera and just says, I was born! That's me. But yeah, I think this right here is my favorite piece that I bought from the convention. Like, it's beautiful. And I gotta find a spot for it. and I'm thinking about it now, and like I realize like how much space like my wall has like taken up as far as like all the art that I've gotten from previous cons. I have a hero chow like hanging on like my back door in my room. That like it's, you only ever see it when my door is closed. Like I gotta start, you know, I gotta start using this wall like right here, because I have a Knuckles light that I got from Galaxy last year, and I still have like this painting of Omega that I still need to hang up. It's been sitting there for like a year and a half. I never gave it a proper spot. I could literally put it like right next to the Knuckles light. I could, honestly, all things considered, I could probably just do that like right after the stream. But yeah, this is without question my favorite piece that I got. Love it. Love, 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 love. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I think I've covered everything that I did. I guess it's just, you know, you think of, I've covered everything I did that weekend, and now I'm just thinking about the car rides and just how you're always more energetic on the ride to there than you are coming back. Just because, you know, like once it's Sunday afternoon, you've done so much shit, and now there's like, you know, there's nothing else. Genuinely, like, this was kind of an issue this year. I remember the drive home. I was, well, one, I was starting to feel a little sick, and B, I was so tired. I remember Doylus fell asleep a couple times. Biggie, there's a chance, probably fell asleep at least once. I don't remember if he did, but I know, because I know he was talking to me the whole time. But I was starting to fade in and out while I was driving. Why are you having 2 minutes of ads? Because I'm monetized, bro. I can start running ads and make money off of them. You've been on my stream where it's happened before. But regardless, I was starting to get nervous on that ride home because I can't fucking pass out. Like, there's 3 of us in this car, and if I fuck up, like, if I either don't soldier through and stay awake till the whole ride, or swap out with Biggie, then something bad's gonna fucking happen. Fuck is this conversation going on, chat? But I decided to soldier through the drive just because by the time that Biggie was kind of starting to ask me like if like I can do the rest of the drive, it was like 25 miles left on it. So I was like, I can just get through these last 20 something miles and then we'll be home. Like, it was at a point where it's like, there's little of this drive left where I feel like justifying swapping, because I would get like 20 minutes of sleep where that wouldn't be enough for me. where I could literally just, when I got home, I brought my suitcase into the living room, and then I passed out on the couch for 3 hours. That's how tired I was, especially because I was basically running Saturday and Sunday on just over 5 hours of sleep. Because our days literally ended at 3. We would get back and actually kind of start being ready for bed at 3:30. And then we would like have to set our alarms for like 8 or 9:30. And then we would have like that full day. And then it was when we got to the water park, we got there at 4 because we had to wait for Doyless. And then we had to get my badge from the Lost and Found. But yeah, it was a bet. Looking back, I think I made the worst decision. But I still, like, you know, I wanted to soldier through just because there was so little left. But it was, like, at a point where I was genuinely questioning that, like, that maybe it would be better if he swapped with me and just did the rest of the drive. Because that shit is dangerous. And it was a worse decision. All things considered. But all 3 of us made it back safe and sound. And that's what matters to me. And, I think that's everything as far as the Colossalcon story. And now, I want to do a little something because I still have a bit of fuel in the tank. I want to do something funny that I basically said that I would do on stream at some point. A few weeks ago. Like, I didn't say it explicitly on stream, but I told a few friends that I would do this. And I don't know if they're here now, but I'm gonna do this anyway. Because it's basically been the running gag this whole time between all of us. I want to play Scooby-Doo Creepy Run. I've found that this game is very short. There are only 3 levels in this. But this is stupid fun. And I think it'd be very fitting to be like the last thing that we do. At least, you know, at least till we get to the 100th stream. Till we cross the triple-digit threshold. Alright, and I had to go into my mixer because, and I had to turn it down because this game is loud as shit. And there's a chance that I'll have to go back. Should have saved it for the big 100. I mean, we can always play this again, you know? There's a chance I might, if I'm feeling it. Anyways, y'all ready for some fuck shit? 'Cause I am. Let's do this. Flawless. Now change. Is that a serious offer? Will you pay me $10 if I run it back next stream? Because I'll do that. Because Depends if you will. If you're serious about that offer, I will run this back next stream after cart. Because you kind of jumped ahead to something else that I was going to say on that stream. I could bring it up. I'll still bring it up on that next stream, but yeah, you're kind of jumping the gun a little bit on that announcement. Because it was just like, oh, it's nothing bad. I was just like, I set up a throne and a Kofi. That's it. I've had I made the throne like last month. I have like one thing on it just because, like, you know, be like, whatever. Like, I'll fucking make it. Like, and then Kofi is just like, you know what? A few other people have this. I'm like, why not me? Like, you know, I could make a little like extra something, like, you know, 2 ways from this. And it could also like go to the freaking YouTube as well. Oh yeah, I just set up the Kofi today. I've just never said any, at least for the throne, I've just never said anything about it. Anyways, level 2. Flawless again. See, like, once I played it this first time in freaking Tetris server, because I was trying to figure out what the controls were. Like, dude, this game is so goddamn easy. There needs to be more than 3 levels. The fucking Zombie Hunter game, which just runs off like the same assets, it was made by the same guy, has 5 levels. And the last 2 levels are literally just a game of RNG. Alright, level 3. Hell yeah. That's it. That's the game. That's literally all this is. Now, I can submit my name. Is this gonna, like... I wonder what the leaderboard looks like. I gotta select the country. No, I don't know. My thing is like, where's the leaderboard for this? Because I gotta freaking find it, you know? Anyways. But yeah. That's what that's kind of what I wanted to do to finish this off. Yeah, I believe it. It's so sad, honestly. So, yeah, I got nothing else, really. So, I guess now is the time to leave. So, I suppose thank you guys a lot for hanging out. It was really nice to talk about the con. These bonfire nights are always really fun. Uh, absolutely, Tud. It's always good to see you around. Uh, Change, I will keep in the back of my head that we have an agreement that you'll pay me $10 if I rerun Scooby Doo Creepy Run. Uh, Otherwise, I'm gonna find a song to ride out stream with. Let's see here. Have I ridden stream out with this song? Oh well. I'm gonna ride out with it anyway. What the fuck? Oh, she literally just finished. Well, I guess we're not rating them anymore. That sucks. Yeah, yeah, it'll be next Wednesday. I'll remind you in chat. So I'm gonna raid Aurora tonight. She and Matthew are doing their shared stuff, so I don't really have to choose between either of them. They're both gonna get the viewers anyway. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for hanging out. This was a lot of fun, just getting to shoot the shit like normal. I'm gonna ride stream out with the gallery music from the remake of Pac-Man World. So I will get that set up really quick. I will get the Aurora raid up momentarily, but yeah, I hope to see you guys again next Wednesday for my 100th stream. We will be running SRB2 Kart again. Unlike the 5-year anniversary, this will be open lobby. I have just a few friends on that like I know that I want to get for it. But it will like be something that you guys can hop in onto if you have Kart in or down. Otherwise, I will see you guys then. You guys have fun over at Aurora's. Enjoy listening to the gallery theme from Pac-Man World Repack. Y'all take it easy. Treat yourselves nice. And I will see you next Wednesday. Good night and goodbye.